Elixirr's done what it usually does and outperform. I'm very, very pleased with the first half of 2025. Outstanding performance, as we've done almost every half that we've announced to the market since we IPO'd. It's our usual performance, and in particular, what was exciting about this half, we did this while we were preparing for our listing for the main market, which we announced on the 1st of July. That's super exciting too, because all of that is very strategic and it lines us up for a fantastic go-forward position that the business is expecting and the growth we are expecting. Talking about growth, our acquisitions are working brilliantly. I mean, just picking on one of them, Hypothesis. They came into the business with lots of expectation. We were very excited about this business and the relationships they had and the synergies between their business and ours. And candidly, we've delivered magnificently on this. And then, of course, staying with the acquisition story for a little bit, you will have seen that we've just announced the acquisition of TRC Advisory, which it's a mini Bain. This is very strategic to us because it puts us into the strategy space more deeply. And it also adds to our depth and coverage in the US, which is an incredibly important strategic market for us. And then if you turn to the business of the day, through the period of the first half, we've had 5 record revenue months, which is exceptional. The team have once again delivered. Year-to-date revenue is 71.4 million. It's a 35% year-on-year growth. Of that, 17%, so just about half is organic, which is particularly pleasing. If you look at the EBITDA coming from that, it's in our usual range. We've always told the market 28 to 30. We've delivered 30 in this half, 21.5 million. And if you flow that through to EPS, the number shows the same kind of growth, 35% growth to 29p. This is a business that turns revenue and profits into cash, and so our free cash flow has grown 12% to £7.9 million.
H125 had several strategic milestones that we're very proud of. I mean, we started the year with record FY24 results, which was an increase in revenue of 30% on the previous year. On the 1st of July, as Steve mentioned, we moved on to the main market. We had a fantastic 5 years on AIM. It was the natural place for us as a business in the first instance of IPO. But now we see the main market as really being the turbocharge to get into the FTSE 250, which is our next ambition. There are several advantages with the main market. It's got obviously a brilliant world-class reputation. That's helpful with acquisition conversations. It's got deeper pools of capital. And it's got international investors that perhaps do not invest in AIM. So we're very excited at seeing how that is unfolding. In fact, we had our inaugural Capital Markets Day this year in June, where we brought together our investors, and we also had many of our clients in the room, and obviously a lot of our senior leadership. We focused on AI, tech, data, and we made it a really immersive event where our investors were able to go around and meet our partners, see demonstrations of the client work we've done, and I think really powerfully talk to our clients. And that was an unfiltered view that they could get from our clients directly as to the difference that Elixirr has made in their business now and going forward. Another big milestone from the half was our Executive Summit, which we held in June in Philadelphia. This actually took a concept and an amazing event that came from Insigniam, where they've been hosting it for years. And we've expanded it to a global summit where we bring across clients from all of our different capabilities, different businesses together. And this one focused on the emerging digital workforce and how they interact with AI in the business and in the workforce. And I think a lot of our senior leadership found that incredibly powerful. This half, we again received many accolades from industry and peers. 2 or 3 we're particularly proud of. First of all, Forbes recognized us from a global perspective in the world's best consultancy in 2025. We made the list for the second time running. They also recognized us as one of America's best management consultancy companies. The Financial Times put us in their leading management consultancies list across several categories for 2025. And again, that builds on being in that list the last couple of years. We formed 2 or 3 partnerships in H125. One we're particularly proud of is being the official digital transformation partner for British Cycling. This is an organisation which has elite standards as standard, as we do at Elixirr. And the way that they outperform and overperform and strive to be better, we saw that as a great alignment for our values. And we get to use our digital data and consulting expertise to help them drive insights out of everything that they do throughout all the events every year.
Actually, Graham, following on from the British Cycling partnership that you just spoke about, we have another wonderful partnership in the cycling context, and that's the Nedbank Gravel Burn down in South Africa. Now, for those of you who understand the sport of cycling, the Tour de France is the pinnacle of endurance cycling For every cyclist out there, it's the thing to watch and to participate in if you can as a sports person in that space. And equally, the person who founded the Cape Epic in South Africa has turned that into the mountain biking equivalent of the Tour de France. And what the Nedbank Gravel Burn is that same individual who established the Cape Epic is doing this now for a gravel bike riding. So we're really excited to be getting in at grassroots level to build what is one of the fastest growing segments in cycling, which is gravel, potentially aiming at building something as large as the Cape Epic and ultimately as large as the Tour de France is for cycling in general.
And then the final partnership was with golfer Tristan Lawrence, South African golfer. He's been playing incredibly well recently, and in fact, he won the European Masters a couple of weeks ago, which we're very proud to, sponsor him, and well done, Tristan.
Yeah, well done, mate. Investors may be curious as to what fuels this growth, and ultimately, it's the performance of our partner team that has been outstanding again. I mean, we've seen an 8% growth in revenue per partner for the half, up to 2.3 million. I'm super proud of what our team are doing, and I think I've spoken to investors about this before. The underlying reason is that all of my partners are strategically aligned with investors through ownership. And they see that if they grow this business profitably, that will translate into share price and that will translate into value for them. And they are walking and talking like true business owners, and it's super powerful. I'm really proud of my partner team, really proud of how they've performed, and this translates into a fantastic performance with clients. I mean, we've got 31 gold clients, and for those of you who don't recall, that's every client that gives us more than £1 million worth of turnover. That's 41% up on last year. That means we're strengthening the depth of our relationships with our clients, and they're relying on us more and more, and it's truly a powerful combination when your clients are so well served by a partner team that's so well aligned with the investor community. So really excited about that growth performance. And, speaking of partners, Portia Thornhill is our general counsel, and she's been promoted to partner. We've promoted 2 new partners as well. Nick Greenwood and Tash Rostans in October 2025 is when they will be effective partners. And then we've hired 2 very experienced senior people, Stuart Stern and Conrad Troy. Stuart is a former client, actually, was a member of one of our client engagements. He's very experienced in transformation and is ex-Accenture. So really excited to see Stuart coming in our US business, helping us grow that out. And then Conrad Troy, who we've hired from Deloitte. Conrad used to run their global SAP practice. And the reason we have Conrad in the team is we see a really big opportunity in advisory space around ERP. So SAP is an example of an ERP platform that are literally upgrading right across their client base. And all of those clients are going to need experience and advice around how to do that upgrade process, employing the big systems integrators. And Conrad has been that person. So what's really exciting about the opportunity in front of Conrad is that if you couple our AI skills with the ability to advise clients around execution on ERP journeys, which are typically very human-intensive, people-intensive journeys, AI has a significant potential to disrupt that process, and we want to be leading out on that, and Conrad's particularly excited about leading our team to do that.
Just to pick up on the inorganic strategy, our acquisitions have been performing incredibly strongly, and we're very happy. Hypothesis joined us at the end of last year, and already we've significantly improved their monthly EBITDA run rate, and we will continue to help grow revenues through cross-sell, but also make them more profitable. An example of a client who's used all of our acquisition capabilities, we're actually working with a facilities, services and solutions provider who have engaged AI, data, tech, consulting, cultural transformation. And really, I love seeing that all of those come together in one place, because we are all doing things together that none of us can do by ourselves, and collectively offering our clients solutions that, again, we had no access to previously. So it really shows that the strategy is working. Another reason why TRC Advisory is particularly exciting, because they add even more capability. They have deeper strategy skills than we have. They talk about, commercial transformation, pricing, and we do pieces of this, but we don't go anywhere near as deep as they do. They're mentioned as a mini Bain and MBB equivalent by their clients, and really we're looking forward to taking their deliverables, which then become our project briefs for how do we put data, tech, AI to make those strategies become a reality. And the leadership of TRC, headed by Tim, and then going into the levels below, they're incredibly impressive and strong consultants, leaders in their industries, and they're going to be a huge benefit and value add to Elixirr.
We're building Elixirr for the 10-20-year version. We're so enthusiastic about becoming part of the MBB group and suite of businesses and actually being the best in that group. And that's not a 1 year, 2 year journey. That is another 10, 20-year journey. But that's where we're going. And what's super exciting about where we are and what we can see for the short, medium, and long term as a consequence of having that broader, more general long-term strategy is that if you look at our track record of growth and you look at the combination of the talent in my partner team, the acquisition strategy, the people we're hiring, the cross-sell opportunity we get from adding different clients, different service propositions into the mix, and then you underpin that, or you look at that in the context of our 10-20-year vision to be in the MBB group in scale terms, but probably at the top of the group in performance terms, it's incredibly exciting. And the outlook is unbelievable. You know, we have the right building blocks in place. Those things that we've been through in this presentation are not just one-offs. We've done them year on year since IPO, and we continue to do those. And we continue to get better and better at it because the people we're bringing in through hiring and acquisitions are bringing more and more skills and more talent. And it's just becoming a nice juggernaut of growth. And so it's incredibly exciting to be literally in this business. And I really hope investors understand this is an exciting journey. And we're going to build, you know, the first services unicorn in years. And it'll be even bigger than that. So, you know, the excitement is you look at what Accenture is to systems integration and outsourcing, that's what we're going to be to strategy and change.